Hey guys, I just wanted to show you my daily routine with my quail. We live in the suburbs in a really super tiny backyard, as you'll see, which is not really YouTube worthy, but that's okay. Um, it's super quick, super easy. Quail take up very minimal space, and there's lots of different ways you can raise them. I choose to raise mine. I give them a little bit too much space because I don't know, I feel kind of bad. But I could definitely have more for the amount of space that I have. The routine in the morning, once you get everything down, as long as you're not having to do like a major clean out of the cages or the coop, is a couple minutes. And you do need a fair bit of them to replace the amount of eggs that you'll be eating. 3 to 4 roughly are what you're looking at to replace a standard large chicken egg. But if you want to supplement your eggs, or just do something to raise your own food, it's a great, they're a great starter animal. You could do it even on a balcony. I've heard people doing it in garages, in a basement, as long as you keep it clean, doesn't smell. So I'm going to take you outside into my very overgrown, everything's overgrown except the grass. There is no grass at this very moment. Combination of a dog and a water drainage issue that we solved. But I'll show you just a quick rundown of what I do. I'm not an expert, but that's just how we raise our quail. We have about a dozen now, and about 10 more in the incubator, and hopefully we'll get a few more in a couple days. So I'll shake you outside. Of course, the neighbor's outside drilling. It looks a little bit like hobos live here, but this is just our garden. I have a couple in this chicken coop that I was given. This was my original cage. I got it on Craigslist for 20 bucks. 2 quail, feed. That was how I started things off. And since then, I've added 2 more rabbit hutches that, again, Craigslist finds. It's a bit of a mess, as you may see, but you know what? That's real life, and that's just how it is. This is my lone male. Oh, there he is. To be honest, I don't think has a name because he's not long for this world. You don't really serve a purpose, pal. But my husband has to for that. So they are molting at this point, which means they are losing feathers and they're not laying eggs. If you look back here, you see that's Charlie. He's pretty yellow. He's the first chick that I ever hatched. And he is extremely loud, kind of bossy and rude, but he's pretty, so I keep him. First thing I do every day is I just clean out the water, replace it if needed. I just replaced it. I'm just showing you this for now, but that's a little bit large for what they need. Again, this was a chicken coop. A friend of mine gave it to me after there was a big battle in our town about chickens. Did not win, so I get around it with quail. I use Purina grower feed. I think it's 24% protein. They do need a high protein. When they're young, they need about 28. I get that at my local feed store. And because I'm a sucker, I give them a handful of corn. They like it. It makes them happy. There's another one in here. Her name is Stella. She was there she is. She ran off. Hi, Charlie. He's hiding. You can see him. Hi, pretty boy. My first 2 quail were named, this is my dog, Theo. Stella and Teresa. They are about 3 years old at this point. Teresa just passed away about 2 weeks ago, and she was my favorite. In this cage, kind of do the same thing. You want to get the pine shavings out. And they're big food wasters, so I don't keep it super. They're also extremely spastic. It's not super exciting because I'm doing kind of all the same thing in each cage. They run off. Making sure everyone has water, Everyone has feed. Checking for eggs, but like I said, I'm sorry for that noise. They're molting, so there's not a ton. Oddly enough, his name is Coco. Did not know he was a male. He's one we hatched from 2 of our original birds. They have more of a rust-colored chest. And you can see this female coming out. She has the speckles. That's how you can tell the difference with these Japanese Caturnix quail. But other than that, they look pretty similar. The males will crow. I would do my impression of it, but it's not very good. Although my kids say it is. What I like about having quail, especially in a suburban homestead, is they take up very little space, and you do need a fair amount of them, like I said. But in a standard rabbit cage, you could easily fit 6 females or 5 females and a male if you wanted to incubate some of your own eggs. But, you know, have a couple of those. I've seen stacked cages. You can really utilize a small space and make it more efficient than what I have going on, because I give them way too much space. But like I said, I'm incubating some more, so I'll fill it in. And the morning routine is quick. It's easy. My youngest son sometimes will help me, and that takes a little bit longer, but I think it's good for him. It, you know, teaches your kids some sort of responsibility. And I love the routine of it. I like to have something every morning that needs me, whether it be kids or animals or whatever. But I find that rewarding, and I also think it's literally 5 minutes. I have 4 cages. I fill up the waters, I feed them. I usually give them little treats. They like corn or whatever. Sometimes they'll eat food scraps from my garden. And, you know, it's worth that extra 5 minutes to even get a couple eggs every day that I can supplement. And I use them in my baking. I substitute them in anything that I use eggs in. And it's really been great for me as a starter until we have the big homestead and I can have a bazillion chickens and goats and whatever. So that's our little introduction to quail. So any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm not an expert, but I've been doing this for a little bit, and yeah, they're super easy. So thanks for watching. See you next time.